Okay, cool. I'm so excited.
Okay, we on. We live.
Oh, okay. Uh, what is going on, guys? Thank you for tuning into podcast part two. I am so grateful that you guys are taking the time out of your day to take the information that we're going to be handing out in this podcast. Just a brief summary of the podcast. Our first podcast, we talked about melanin, the difference between neutral density and melanin. We also discussed natal charts on how to create or how to find out your own natal chart, along with how to find out your life path number. We also gave a brief description on how Ricky and I got to this point in time in our journey. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the first one. We are so appreciative of it. It did amazing, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Ricky.
Yeah, thank everybody that tuned in for the first one. We were very gracious with the response that we got back from the community and all the comments that you guys left and all the positivity and gratitude that was in the comments. We're very grateful. And also apologies for how long this one took to get out as well. Matter of fact, no apologies, because me and Jasmine is just two grown ass adults and we got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But today, hopefully, it was worth the wait because we're going to be bringing some information that hopefully can maybe make your life better in one area or all areas. And that's pretty much going to be doing with things like law of attraction and things like shaping your own thoughts and making your own reality. And this episode is going to be called DIY, which is do it yourself, of course. Some things we're going to be talking about is self-help, hands-on and mental tools that you can use, the law of attraction, having a victim mentality, controlling your atmosphere, things such as that. You know, so yeah, that's what we're going to be getting into today. And basically at least for me, the motivation behind this is something I actively use in my life to help me shape and mold and create the type of reality I want, in my life. Having to do with like the law of attraction. And really the goal of all this is to just provide you with first-handed accounts from me and Jasmine, and provide you also with information that will get you on the most optimal timeline for yourself, whatever you feel that is. So you're just going to be hearing like testimonies from me. Also, like I said, the methods that you can use to help improve things that may be going wrong, things that you may feel like you don't have any control over. So yeah, it's just going to be things like that.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and it's going to be like you can use it to shape your life, like whether you want to spiritually ascend more, whether it's physical, materialistic, having to do with a relationship that you want to manifest, the atmosphere that you're in, the type of emotions that you're feeling, pretty much anything you can think of. And with that, we can pretty much just hop into it.
All right. One thing that I do want to reiterate that, Ricky, you brought up was the fact that these are things that you and I have personally experienced, but not only on a spiritual journey, in a sense, it's also helped me personally with, school, life, me, to get to know me and how I work. So I really do hope that this also helps you, anyone that you care about. If you want to go ahead and share, the stuff that you learn from this, it really does help in a lot of situations that we do go through in this physical experience that we are going through. So I just hope you enjoy it. It's going to be very interesting. I know Ricky has a lot of great points and information. So I know we both hope you enjoy. So I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, so basically we're just gonna be all over the place. I'm gonna be freestyling this whole thing because it's just so much information to unpack, going into quantum physics and how it talks about how our thoughts, have a direct impact on not only our lives but pretty much the universe. Hence a universal consciousness. That's why, and I don't want to get too deep into this. That's why certain people on this planet, they work so hard to own all news stations, all media, because they understand this concept and they want to keep the universal consciousness at the most optimal level for their agenda. Um, but so let's get into law of attraction, right? Um, and let's talk about energy, right? Now, we both know from basic science that energy can be neither created nor destroyed. So it's all about the energy that is around you and that you're naturally attracting to you. You know, and the law of attraction is it's not a theory; it's a universal law. It's like gravity. Like this book right here, if I drop it on this plane of existence, gravity is always going to be in effect. It's the same thing with the law of attraction. And I say that to say it's always going to be one way or the other. It's always going to be positive or negative, the energy that you're channeling to yourself, because we know energy cannot be neither created or destroyed. So it's all about the energy you are you are basically summoning, whether it be from the people around you, whether it be from the thoughts that you're thinking, whether it be from your atmosphere, whether it be from whatever environment you're in, anything. It's all of that's it. It's going to be either one way or the other. Um, and there's some things that you can do to help you shape and mold the type of energy you bring around you. This is why you may hear some spiritual gurus talk about maybe the circle that you keep around you, the people, or maybe some of the foods that you eat. This is why it's just essentially, yes, they are good for spiritual growth, but these things also have a mental and psychological impact on you. You know what I'm saying? It just helps you feel like you're on the most optimal timeline of yourself. And when you naturally have that feeling, it's like a radio signal that you're sending out into the universe. And this and through emotions and feelings that you can feel, these are like I said, they're like signals you're sending out in the universe. And the universe is constantly sending you back more of that. So it's like, so let's say you got a cup of water, right? And you stirring it like clockwise, right? That simulates the energy that you have, like whether it's good or bad. So let's say it's bad and that energy is going clockwise, right? Now you can change the energy. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy. It may be hard, you may have to go counterclockwise to change the energy. And I don't know if this is a good analogy. And when you start to do it, it will be like a little friction first, just like when you're stirring it counterclockwise and then you try to stir it the other way immediately. It will be like a little bit of friction first, but eventually that water will start to flow easy. And it's the same thing. And this is why I want to get into the thoughts that you think, because the thoughts that you think create that as well. And it's a known, it's like a study that's been done recently that says, um like most humans thoughts are 70% negative, And if we know everything that we know about thoughts and how they shape and mold our reality, then that will have a direct impact on how we're living. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I've been talking too long, so I'm gonna pass it on to Jasmine. Anything you want to add or your thoughts on that?
You're good. You're good. I just wanted to go ahead and just like reiterate what you were saying about the law of attraction itself. The law of attraction actually plays a big role in a lot of the things that we do as individual physical beings um on this on Earth, basically. So one thing that I really did like that you said was about the water and you spinning it. So the way that I thought about it was more along the lines of like a magnet. So we all know that a magnet has a negative and a positive side. So whenever you get two negatives, they're not going to go together. The same with positive positive. They don't magnet, you know what I mean? Like they don't gravitate towards each other, but a negative and a positive do. But that's also a duality. Duality is a big thing that I do recommend that every person tries to um, work on and balance out with themselves, because that helps with your thoughts, how you see things, how you treat other people. That's going to help inner balance with yourself. So to get that positive negative, that yin and yang, the light and dark, because it's all the same. So when you start to get that in balance, then you could start to become aware of what kind of thoughts that you have initially, or the thoughts that people show you, because a lot of the things that you think you are thinking, you aren't naturally thinking it. You are being told to think it. You're being shown to think certain ways, just like how Ricky said that 70% of the thoughts that we have are negative because of the things that we see in the world. I know, I will go ahead and say more than 80% of the things that we see on social media, on the news and all of that are negative. It's not uplifting. It's not, even the food that we eat is not healthy. A lot of the commercials that we see about the food are, very sexualized, very not healthy, very gluttonous, and that causes people to start to be subconsciously programmed and thinking like, okay, stress, anxiety, negative thoughts, those all play a part on how you are uh, programmed to be thinking. It really does help with that balance, the duality. So you know, okay, these are your natural process thoughts, and then these are the thoughts that the world is trying to make you think that you are thinking. So that is something that I really do want to just shed some more light on, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that there are two different voices in your head. There's the world voice and then there's your voice, but you don't know the difference between each. And that is something that is really important, because that will shape your reality. That will shape your confidence and your drive into, if you want to be a millionaire, you can be a millionaire. There's nothing that is impossible. You're just told that. You're told of the word impossible, which nothing, to me, nothing is impossible in my preference. So I do like how you brought up the energy, how energy cannot uh it can be created nor destroyed. Just like if you are thinking negative in a sense about a situation, you can turn that energy into positive energy, and you can make that work for you. In my previous video about the ego versus higher self, I talk about how we are electrical beings and we are connected to the universe. The universe is already aware of the intention that you set with your thoughts, your feelings, and how you treat others. There's no hiding your intention. It's like um, how the Bible talks about how the Creator, God, can read your heart. That's exactly what the universe does. You throw out negative energy, you're going to get it right back, because that's just how it works. You're going to get positive energy and then you get it right back. It's karma. There's good karma and then there's bad karma. But yeah, I don't want to take up too much, but I think that that's a really good thing that we should, or I would like to get your thoughts on about like how the world shows you things, and then how people don't really know the difference between their thoughts and then the world's program thoughts.
Yeah, that's the thing. I found on this journey, just basically studying people as humans, we easily we sometimes are easily influenced. And like you said, our thoughts becoming the world's thoughts. Um, I think this is why in the Bible it tells you to get out of the world. Um, and like I was saying earlier, with how there's allegedly a certain group of people who work so hard to make sure they own all these news stations and things like that to control narratives and to keep the mass consciousness at a certain level. But yeah, a lot of times it's easy for us to adapt the I guess you can, if you guys know what groupthink is, the groupthink mentality, which is basically um having the same thoughts and ideas. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's very easy. And I was reading in this book one time and it was saying you start to become a master of this world when what's in here overcomes what's outside of there. Like, let's say we got somebody trying to start a business, right? And everybody around that person and his mother is telling him not to start the business. But this person is so determined. This person may have nothing. This person may feel like all they know is they're determined to have this business, no matter what the circumstances is. But everybody around them is telling them it's not possible, don't do it, keep your 9 to 5, whatever. But what's in this person's head is propelling them. And what's in there, they didn't let anything overcome that, all the people telling them. And I've seen this so many times happen personally, like with the CEO of my company and what he went through to start his business, or anything you want to do. That happens so much. It there's something, there really needs to be like an official study that comes out of it. Or actually, I'm reading a book on it now called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, where they basically interview a whole bunch of successful people and they have a lot of similarities, such as what I just spoke on. But to sum it up, Jasmine, yeah, I do think that's relevant. And I think that's something that's like an exercise that humans need to work on more. You know what I'm saying? It's not being so like following so much and, you know, and settling and things like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Just because a lot of people like to not think themselves. A lot of people are very comfortable with being told what to eat, what to do, what to say. That's why a lot of people tell you, no, that's not possible. That's not possible. Because in their minds, they've already predetermined, okay, it's too far out there for you to do. When it's really not. The only person that knows your own limitations is yourself. That's why I think it's really important, and a really good self help tool that you should do is to spend time with yourself, talk to yourself, get to know yourself, get to know what creates the thoughts that you want to have. um Differentiate between how you're feeling instead of what people are telling you to feel. It really is very easy. In my sense, I talk to myself all the time. I Once I started really practicing, and it is work. Everything that we're going to talk about is diligent work. You need to work hard, and you need to be driven to the point where you are going to completely throw away this mind of yours and build your own, because that's what it is. You need to build yourself. A lot of people say, I need to find myself, I need to find. You're never lost. There's nothing to find because you're right here. It's just you don't know how to connect, because the world is telling lies to your vision television. So they're telling you a lot of things, like oh, all these movies about, things that seem impossible, like, I don't know, like building a suit like Iron Man. That's actually very possible. You can be a Tony Stark if you chose to, because you're the only person that sets the limitations that you go through in this life. So I really do think that as our first self help thing that we should talk about is, you know talking to yourself, getting to know yourself. You know, start I have my notes here. I put, start exercising, start sun gazing, start a healthy diet. Just start doing stuff that you want to do. Don't listen to the, because I that's what I've done recently, and it has been amazing. It has been so amazing, and I have gone through a lot of situations that have, you know, the this I reference Earth as a vibration. So this vibration that we're on, as we call it Earth, it tries to bring you down so much. That's why its main goal, like how Ricky said, there's so many agendas. There are so many things that are put into your own mind that you don't even know. When you look at a billboard, or even if you look at a simple rainbow, all of those things have been edited and flipped and altered just so you don't know the actual truth of things. So you don't grasp at the little straws on to help, build yourself, to really dust all that earth vibration off of you, and for you to find you. But what do you think about, people spending time with themselves? Reading is a great thing to, do as well with yourself.
I agree with what you're saying. I believe you're right and exact on that. And I was actually thinking about that earlier today. Like, the subscription had ran out on my Title application, and for those that don't know, Title is pretty much a music service, streaming service. So I didn't have anything to listen to in my car. So what I did was I just did one of the exercises that I usually do. That I sometimes do, especially in the morning times. I have this thing where I say over and over and over again, I am abundance, I have abundance, and I have more abundantly to give. Thank you. And I say that over and over and over again to really anchor that into the conscious and subconscious mind. And I say that to say a lot of times, well, not a lot of the times, damn near from when you wake up to when you go to bed, your mind is occupied. Your mind is always occupied, whether it be social media, whether it be whatever job that you have, whether it be the radio, whether it be music that you're listening to, whether it be conversations with others. There's very little idle time for, especially in westernized culture, the average human. There's very low idle time for your mind just to be idle, and for you to really become one with your thoughts. Really sit down and think about what you think about things. Like on you when I watch YouTube videos, I try not to read the YouTube comments, because others, like, I try to just walk away from whatever I'm watching with my own thoughts, because everybody's been a victim to it. Like, you start to watch up maybe a YouTube video, and then you go down in the comments, and maybe some things you weren't even thinking before, and now you're starting to consider, um, things like that. But I think it's very important for you to just be idle sometimes with yourself, whether it be through meditation, whether it be through talking to yourself, which may sound kind of out there, but can be very healthy.
It's very
Um,
true.
yeah, just idle time with yourself. I believe it's I believe that right there is a powerful exercise, and it does feel uncomfortable at first, but you'll start to get used to it, and then shortly after that you'll start to see like the benefits of it.
Hmm. I totally agree. When I woke up, I was grateful for waking up for talk to myself about my dream if I had a dream, and then I would meditate for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes. It could even be for 2 minutes. It go at your own pace. All of this is self growth for you. This is a chance for you to be able to really start to process. Okay, this is how I think. This is how I feel. This is why I feel this way. How do I feel this way? Oh, because this is what happened. Ask yourself those. Those things we all learn in school. I really like the who, what, when, where, and why. Those 5 questions I ask myself about, different situations. Okay, I just met this person. Why do I feel weird? What did they say or what did they do that made me feel weird? Start to become self aware. Start to become self aware in a lot of things that you do. Even if you like to read a book or watch a show, just spend time with yourself. That is a very big one. And another self-help one that I really do want to bring up is, and it's one that I kind of adopted in my sense, because I went through a lot of, I was labeled as an overthinker, which I can see how, you know, a lot of people struggle with that, thinking too much causes stress and anxiety. But that's just your brain. I heard a lot of people tell me, you have to control your brain. You're not your brain. Your brain is your brain, if that makes sense. Like, my brain does not control me. My brain does not run things here. I do. So then when I started to really feel that, because everything, like how Ricky, how you said, how a lot of people will continuously say, like, how you said, like, you are in abundance, you are in abundance. I label that as a manifestation tool and a meditation tool, affirmations. And I do that too, in situations where I feel like flustered. I don't really feel like I have enough time. I do that as well. I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm capable, I can do this. I also I don't. Oh, I'm okay. Whatever. Just when one of the things that I started practicing was I count to 10 in English, Spanish, and French, and I've learned that that helps me chill out, reassess myself, ground myself, practice that duality, and then I'm good to go. And then right after that, then I start, okay, this is why. What do I need to do? Why am I thinking or feeling this way? And then I start to acknowledge, okay, I wasn't initially thinking negative. It was what my parents were saying, or a friend, or, and I think that is a great thing that you do. You don't look at the comments either, because a lot of people are influenced by a lot of the, even uh I know one thing that I was watching a YouTuber's video at one point, and I was looking through the comments because I like the comments. People drop links and stuff, and I noticed a lot of the comments that would get reactions were comments like um that would get a lot of like likes and, like, replies and stuff. And a lot of the comments that didn't get that actually had a lot more information than the big mainstream comments. And people get influenced by that too, likes, views, all of that. But that doesn't necessarily matter, because the intention is what matters. One thing that I do commend Ricky on doing is, he told me this before, was he can get off social media. Social media is nothing, and that is a big issue that a lot of people have, that really does reflect a lot on the mental. Social media is a big peer pressure, a big, you know what I mean, like, is a whole big thing. That too is a very big self-help. If you are aware and you are easily influenced, social media should not be something that I wouldn't recommend it to start off first. I, did my own little social media break for a little, and I honestly, I felt so great. I felt no pressure. I felt no negative. I didn't feel, and it's all self-discipline. Self-discipline is a big, big um, thing that a lot of people need to practice to, um, you know, to be able to get off it, to delete it, to not re-download it, and to get back on it, or to say that you're doing something and then you're not doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And I do agree with that. And that's not necessarily something you have to do. The whole point is doing things that will make you ultimately feel like you are making um, a decision to put you on the most optimal timeline, or like it's more about feeling. So if whatever you're doing is making you feel like you're getting closer to whatever your objective is, then do that with discretion. Of course, I'm not telling nobody to go out here and break the law or anything, but you get what I'm saying. And before I really dive deep into law of attraction, I just want to talk about like the victim mentality. You know what I'm saying? For the people who think that, you know, something may not be possible, or they can't do something because this is happening, or this is in my way, or like maybe you might be at a school you don't like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you're dealing with a really tough uh home situation, whatever, maybe you're dealing with a really tough job, whatever it is, whatever you feel like. And I can understand, especially to some of you that are younger, you know, maybe in going through. And let me be very, very clear before I say this. I'm not talking about anybody who's been through like a really traumatic situations, like, and you can imagine what I'm talking about when I say that. So I'm not talking about people who have been through those type of situations, because obviously that's much different. But having a victim mentality is, like I was telling you earlier, it's either one way or the other. It's no in between. So essentially, having a victim mentality is not going to do nothing but further whatever uh, blockage you believe you have, or whatever the issue is. Because, like we were talking about before, about thoughts and the law of attraction, remember, it's just like the law of gravity. It's always in motion, it's always constant, it's always working. It has no discretion to any thoughts that you have. Every thought that you have is like a wish that you're making, and you're sending out into the universe, you know, to be granted. So remember that. So essentially, having a victim mentality, like I said, I could understand in some situations. It's very understandable. I believe we're all put through certain things, but remember, it's just furthering whatever you're going through, especially. And like I said, the feeling, your feelings, like they're like you're sending those out. That has to do with your energy and stuff. And like I said, energy is neither created nor destroyed, you know, so it's all about the energy that you're pulling into. So now let me dive deep into the law of attraction. Um and so even when we want to talk about our body is, if you want to get scientific with it, is a molecular structure, which is massive energy that's moving at a very high speed of vibration. You notice how everybody likes to talk about vibrations a lot. Even when our body has passed, it's still moving, it's still vibrating. Everything on this plane pretty much is vibrating. And from there, right? So your mind dictates your vibration. Your conscious and your subconscious mind has been programmed from very young, and this has created your beliefs, your mannerisms, etc. And that coupled together has created your paradigm. And paradigm is pretty much information's habits, conditioning, and programming that you receive as a product of how you grew up, what your parents instilled in you, uh, your environment, etc. So, like, an example of that is right. Let's say we have a kid that grew up really hard uh, with a single mother through poverty who struggled all his life, and then you have a kid who was higher middle class, and pretty much that wasn't a problem for him. He got pretty much everything he wanted, you know what I'm saying, all his life. Now, the paradigm for the kid who was disenfranchised is always going to be that life is hard, money is hard to come by, and things more having to do with that train of thought and that paradigm. The other paradigm will be much different. This kid will most likely grow up to believe that money is easy to come by. Life isn't that hard, so hopefully you get the drift. And then from your paradigm, that's pretty much like what's embedded in your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is very powerful, especially when we're talking about manifestation. And then you start to create more of these situations in your life that will reflect whatever paradigm you have back to you. So what you're believing is really reflecting back to you. And this is proven through quantum physics. And I've kind of seen it in my life as well. Like, I've started to notice, like, because I'll be around people that are not nearly at the same level as I'm at, not to be cocky or nothing, but they're not. And I've been able to see through doing my own law of attraction rituals and routines and stuff, and things actually becoming true, and me actually starting to pass that mold and shape the environment and atmosphere around me anywhere I go. It's like I'm creating my own universe inside this universe that is also a part of everybody else's universe at the same time. But most importantly is my universe. It gets very confusing. um I guess it would be something you have to go through. um but let me get back into this. So with your conscious mind, you have the power to think anything you want. So an example is like a type A thought or a type B thought, right? And these thoughts will put you in a type A or type B vibration, which will give you type B or type A results. And as we all know, there is a multitude of vibrations. And this is why, especially in this podcast, I'm going to stress thought so much. And you actually can control your thoughts. You can. It takes time, but you can. But yeah, so your thoughts create, or I should say, help to create um your vibration. And that's pretty much why I was talking about how, certain people like control of all media and everything, and social media and pretty much everything. Your influences. This is why it's important to be guarded with your influences. How much you intake during the day, and what are you intaking during the day? Because these things shape and mold your thoughts. The reason why I read books like these and talk to people like Jasmine is because it's the most optimal thing for me. And I like to be challenged and also take on my own interpretation of things. So, like, let's say, right, if you have certain notions about money, right? Like, certain people think, like, there's a saying that money is the root of all evil. Well, with that thought process, like, it's going to be very hard for you to attract any type of abundance of money into your life, because what you're thinking is contrary to what you actually want. What you actually want, I mean, anybody will want abundance of money, but your belief about it is so contradictory. So if you want to change your beliefs about it, it's good to consume your mind with things that would challenge your thoughts about money. Like me, I grew up with family who was not always the best with money. Like to this day, you know what I'm saying? Still living paycheck to paycheck, still have not tried anything to change that. I mean, they're not like really struggling or anything like that, but when we grew up, we was kind of struggling. And yeah, but I could have fell victim to that and picked up those same habits. But my goals in life are very different. So some things I try to do, well, things I do actively, um, is I look at money very differently. Like I'm very much into stocks. I'm very much into investing, have money in Bitcoin, have money in different stocks and all of that. I constantly am watching videos on money, how to grow money, how to make money, how to keep money. You know what I'm saying? What to invest into, what not to invest into. I'm constantly reading books like this, Think and Grow Rich. And essentially, what this is doing slowly but surely is changing the conscious and subconscious mind of how I think about money, thus changing the paradigm, thus changing my reality. So you can see how it becomes like a domino effect. Um, and also that's an example of type A and type B thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Be- and you can say, I guess, that the reading books and the watching videos are the type A thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And what my parents have been doing or my family has been doing with money are the type B thoughts. And that affecting your vibration and affecting your atmosphere and environment and then thus infecting your affecting your environment. What do you think about that, Jasmine?
I totally agree. I like how you went in depth with that, because one thing that I do want to point out is you did it. You did the work. You started to really invest in yourself first, and then the abundance started, the information, the action. You have to, the way that you were reiterating thoughts, okay, thoughts for you are feelings to me. I relate more with feelings as, thoughts, although I do know the difference. But you create your own thoughts, you create your own situations and all of that with your thinking first. If you are watching and you're looking at, negative, violent videos and stuff like that, listening to violent music and all of that, it's scientifically proven, psychologically you are going to start adapting to that type of vibration. But whenever you start to really, do the self discipline and the self work, and you want to be better, you want to, make more money for the right reasons, because that's what you were saying, about how money is the root of all evil. It's the intention. I want millions of dollars, and I know I'm going to get millions of dollars because my intention is to help others with it. Not so I could buy a yacht and just go chill. Not so I can go buy nice things, although, I mean, the, that's just me, but whatever. I wouldn't just do that, because that's not the thrive. That's not what's driving me to get those millions. What's getting me is the homelessness, the trash that is everywhere on this planet, that people aren't getting proper food, real food. I don't like that. So instead of me, oh, but it's such a big problem. There's so many people on this planet. It's impossible. Like listening to people tell me like those negative things does not, it doesn't phase me. I take that low vibration, I take it and I hire it in a sense to where I am changing that energy that was given to me. I am taking it for myself. I am sculpting it into a positive, and I'm putting it back into the universe, because I am aware enough to do that. A lot of people get, angry and stuff like that because of the things that they are hearing, and how they are subconsciously programmed already. But it's not you. You don't even, in my opinion and what I have seen and what I've experienced, it is all still labels, and at the end of the day, negative and positive. It's just what you feel, you know. A lot of people, I label it as manifesting as well. You know, how you were talking about the paradigm and the mannerisms that a lot of people have. You know, I don't think money is a thing. Money may, I could go spend money and I'll get money. I'm not worried about it. But I also got that from my dad. My dad is a very, oh, let's just money, I work hard so I can, buy this if I want it. But then my mom, on the other hand, is very different. My mom is a budget. She's very smart with money. She can save. But coming from both, I see the fruits of my dad's labor. And then I see the stress that my mom goes through with budgeting and a lot of things like that when it doesn't necessarily work out. But it's also the intention that you have to have and to be aware that, okay, this wasn't my paradigm at first. It was, instilled in me because of what you grow up. One thing that I do want to say is Jaden Smith actually had a video that I really liked, that he was talking about how babies learn through mimicking. You learn through mimicry as well. You learn how to walk because you see other humans walking. You learn how to talk because you hear and you see other people's mouths moving and you hear words coming out. That too, you are your own, human being. You can create your own type of reality. A lot of people don't know that. People don't think that this is their life. Like, a lot of people don't know their power. You know what I mean? And a lot of
Yeah.
people need to start, getting into that, because you do create your own life. If you want to go travel, go travel. What is stopping you? Yourself. You think that, okay, I need to save this amount of money and then I need to, plan it out. No, it's life. You're supposed to be enjoying it. It's just the fact of how you should be enjoying it in the aspect of knowing your thoughts and your feelings. Those are just my thoughts on that. I did want, before we got too far from it, I did want to bring up the victim mentality because it does play in what you were saying with the whole paradigm. And I really do like that you brought up that word, because a lot of our parents, even not just parents, guardians, anybody, teachers, role models, they can have a victim mentality, a narcissist mentality, a gaslight mentality. And you don't even know it, because a lot of people don't know they're narcissists until they're already narcissists. A lot of people don't know they're gaslighting until after the situation that they're done, gaslighting another person. What I wrote here was, because I come from a very uh like, now there's weakness and there's strength. There, I have never been one to make excuses for victim mentality, but like how Ricky said, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of appropriate, victim feelings in a lot of traumatic situations that we do go through, that we do need to learn from. In my opinion, life happens for you, not to you. So, a lot of and then how you said we shouldn't have to bring up serious situations that people do need to go through those types of thoughts and feelings in order to heal from that.
Mhm.
So don't get me wrong on that. I'm talking about if you're playing basketball or football and your team is losing, but you're dragging your feet, you're not catching the ball, you're like, and then you're, oh, we lost, like, we never, those type of victim mentality where you could have changed the outcome of the situation that you were in, because of, you could have worked harder, you could have pushed yourself. Now, one thing I did put was take responsibility by being aware of the things that you are doing, especially with the what a lot of people get, and what gets in the way is pride. A lot of people get their pride in, because I know for me personally, I go out of my way to help people. I go all the way out of my way to help people. And then my mom is telling me, Jazz, you can't help everyone. You can't change everybody. Not everybody wants to change. Not everybody, And so I had to learn that the friends that I was bringing around me were telling a lot about myself, that I had no, self respect, no self worth, because they were just walking all over me and just using me. And so I had to learn, okay, Jazz, you're not the victim because you're putting yourself in the situation. And a lot of different people were telling me the same thing. So I needed to humble myself, take myself out of the situation, and I needed to actually listen to what I was being told so then I could work on this sorry, my dog is here. Um I have to work on a lot of the things that I didn't even know that I needed to work on. I thought just because I was helping, it was a good thing. But it's not because I wasn't taking care of myself at the end of the day. And so I put that too. If a lot of people are telling you one thing, don't you think that you should, look in the mirror and see maybe it's a possibility? Like if you're quick to anger or, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, not good things, but, things that that you can work on. I put that in here as well. Um, it'll just help you improve as a human being. What's wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with, it helps you be better than, you know. Um, I'm not going to go too much deeper into it, but learn from repetitive behaviors that tend to lead to negative consequences in your experience. Um, Gaslighting is one. Gaslighting tends to be an excuse or a manipulative mentality to avoid taking responsibility for your actions. A lot of people gaslight other people and don't even realize that they are creating a victim in a sense just because they are like, okay, I'm trying to talk to you, but then that person is gaslighting you, and gaslighting is a form of manipulation. If you try to gaslight somebody, you're like, okay, that's your fault, not mine. That was you, that wasn't me. But in turn, it was that person. That person, that is another form of victim mentality that a lot of people, just be aware of the repetitive things because the universe tells you. The universe isn't just going to leave you by yourself to figure it out. It tells you. You just got to be, aware enough and humble enough to listen. um but yeah, I wanted just to say that. um the last thing I do want to say about, the victim mentality is a hands-on and mental tool that you can use, and I have my notes in here about it. Is one thing is how to talk to people and enjoy it. um that's a very good hands-on tool that you can actively do every single day in your life. And you would be very surprised on how many people don't even know that they're not even listening in a conversation because you're already thinking of rebuttals. Like, that's where the pride comes in. How are you judging me? And how how are you judging me? And you have this to work on, you got to do this. But and then that starts to create, it all comes to a circle. Ricky said it's pretty, not complicated, but it's a lot. And to me, it is in a sense just information wise, but it all comes full circle. It is all the same. Your thoughts become your reality. Your reality is your experience, and your experience is your life. Like, point blank. The people that you have around you are most definitely going to affect how you progress. If you're hanging out with people who smoke all day, who don't do anything, who sit there, who don't talk about any goals and anything, what do you think is going to happen with you? You're not going to grow. You can't help yourself if you're drowning in the same pool that others are drowning in as well. Those are just my thoughts.
No, that's right and exact. And I do want to build off when you're talking about victim mentality. And this is a point I really want to hammer home because I know we have people who have an issue with that. I used to have an issue with that when I was growing up because of the household situation I was in. It was very like I was grew up with like a narcissist, and they would blame everything on everybody. Everything had to go their way. It kind of got bad at times. And because of this, it was kind of discouraging to me coming up. And I thought this person had all this control over my life, and not a lot of people wanted to stand up to this person. I was kind of like the only one. And because I was kind of like the only one, it was tough. Of course, that made it tough on me. Um, because people want to make an example, you know what I'm saying? And, different things like that. But what I wanted to build on from what you were saying is like, okay, like I got this one friend. We're probably not gonna be friends much longer. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you because she is just so negative. And every time we talk about it's about money, she don't got enough money, all this stuff. I don't really, I care about her, but I mean, it would be bringing my vibe down sometimes. But anyway, I was talking to her, because we like to spend time together sometimes, but almost every holiday this season I had to work. My job had made me work. And on top of that, I didn't get any holiday pay for any of those days. I really wasn't tripping. Like, I don't know. I don't be tripping about little shit like that. Like, but I told her it wasn't like I was even complaining to her. I was just telling her because we wanted to do something. I told her I couldn't hang out, and then I just told her about the conversation I had with the people at the company and how they basically aren't even paying holiday pay, and then she was like, man, that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? That's their fault. Uh, for first of all, making you work every holiday. And then second of all, not even paying you holiday pay. And I was like, I disagree. I think it's my fault. And the reason why I think it's my fault is because I don't want to put myself in that position to have to be hired by somebody else where they can have they have control of those variables. And essentially what I'm doing by that is I'm not being the victim. Now, of course, maybe the company could have been a little bit more transparent, maybe giving me some days off on those days, maybe even paid me holiday pay. But the way I'm looking at it is like, okay, if I don't like this situation, which I really wasn't tripping anyway, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm being honest, I really didn't like it, but it really didn't bother me. And it's not gonna make my day any better or worse. But if I don't like the situation, I'm becoming solution oriented first. I'm not pointing the blame first. I'm not, doing any of that. I'm become solution oriented first. I'm saying it's my fault. I put myself in this situation. What could I have did differently? And this type of thought is what's led me to read things like this. It's what's led me to become an investor now, um, is what's led me to start to change my thoughts about the whole 9 to 5 thing, about entrepreneurship and things like that. So it's really beneficial and really healthy, and it does take time for you to get out of that. But at the end of the day, it's the most optimal, most quickest, most fastest way for you to change, modify whatever you want to do with whatever situation you're in. And that's what I wanted to say, to pretty much to build off of and pretty much give an example too of what you were saying with victim mentality. You know.
Yeah, because a lot of and that goes too with the no excuses mentality. You I like how you reiterated how now it's a solution. Now it's not okay, well, I could have done this better, or dwelling. You don't dwell. Now okay, if I would have done this in this situation, then okay, it could have warranted a different solution. And I think that goes hand in hand with the no excuse mentality. What I put here is positivity is key. Get rid of the word can't, or words like that. You couldn't or won't, negative influential words, because once you already say, okay, well, I don't think I can do this, or no, I can't do that, you already mentally gave up on yourself. You already gave up on yourself, and you didn't even give yourself a chance to go through with it, what you already predetermined as you cannot do it. A lot of people, that's like how people say closed mouths never get fed. So like, instead of asking just because you think that the person is going to say no, but then what if they do say yes? It's a whole, once you start really changing your mindset and like, taking responsibility, that is a big thing. This is do it yourself. This is so honest. You need self discipline. You need self respect. You need self. Like, I can't self love. Oh my gosh, I cannot stress that enough. Self love. Because when you self love yourself, you're going to put yourself in positions and you're going to avoid positions that are going to make you feel lower than love. You're not going to put yourself in positions that are not going to be better for you, and you're not going to deal with any type of crap when it comes to, people being lazy or people trying to influence how you are thinking. It is all self. We're born, my mom has told me this since the day I can remember. You are born alone, you're going to die alone. You are going to live through this life through just these eyes that well, you know what I mean. You are going to, live this life on your deathbed, which is a great thing in my opinion, but whatever. On your deathbed, you don't want to be that person like, no, like I still wanted to do stuff, or I was so negative, or because there's a lot of self realizations when it comes to that point in time where you realize there's no waking up, there's no coming back, there's no changing. But whenever you can, and I'm a good example too. A lot of people don't realize you do not have to stress. You do not have to stress over a 9 to 5 job. I know a lot of people say, a lot of people argue and try to justify and really, you know, kind of push that away. Like, oh no, this is just your work on this. Actually, you really don't. My thing is work smarter, not harder. Just like how Ricky, how you're doing the investing, the stocks. A lot of people. I was talking to a pretty well known person in the spiritual community a couple of days ago, and he was explaining to me about how you can make money, and a lot of people go, they are asleep when it comes to these type of easy routes. You know what I mean? Like, watch videos like how Ricky does. It's very simple. If you are driven and you have the right intention, it is very simple to allow yourself to have a calm mind at all times, because then you're not worrying, then you're not feeding into that negativity, then you're not building up those walls that you are putting up against yourself. One thing that my biggest enemy was myself. My biggest hater was myself. My biggest critic was myself. I mostly had, A's in school, but when I got a B, oh my goodness. I was so upset. Like, but that's because of how I was, the paradigm again. That's just how in school you had to be good, and if you weren't good, sports too. We don't give ribbons to participants. Either you win or you didn't win. That's how I grew up. And so, that really affected, and I was very hard on myself until I actually found that self-love. Now I don't consider myself, yeah, I'm not negative anymore, only because, I do things to make me happy. But I also, Ricky and I have done the work. We're doing the work. And I can honestly say, me personally, it's amazing. Everything that I have done, and a lot of people have told me not to go this route. A lot of people have told me not to go, you're going to fall for everything. You're too open minded. But honestly, I would go down this route 100 times over because it is so much better. I am a better person at the end of the day for it. I am a better person with myself. I have such a better, relationship with myself. But that's just because I had to, remove those things. I had to adopt the type of things that you're hearing right now on this podcast. I had to adopt a lot of those things and actually work on it. I can preach all day about, change your mindset. This will help you. But at the end of the day, you're just listening. You're not really feeling what I'm putting out there.
Yes, and the one last thing I wanted to touch on with victim mentality is your triggers. Now, something very transformational And something very important for you to work on for this to work is working on what triggers you. If things easily change how you feel, easily change your vibration. What I mean by that is if you attach, right? If somebody's trying to start with you and you give in and you attach, if somebody you're driving, somebody cuts you off and you attach to that and you start to react and you emotionally invest. I want you to think of it like that too. Your emotions and how you deal with them. This is something I tell a close friend of mine. Like you have to be very careful with your emotions. This is why it's very important to screen the person that you're with in a relationship, is because essentially that person will know you well and have some influence over how you feel. If you're really in love with this person, they can make you feel extremely good, or they can make you feel extremely bad because your emotions are invested in that person and you care about what they think about you, how they treat you. It has a lot more meaning than the regular Joe Schmo. So when these things happen to you on your day to day and you attach to it, whether it's somebody cutting you off in traffic, you know what I'm saying? Like when that type of stuff happens to me, I go about my day like it never even happened, because what can happen is a domino effect of these things. Remember, like I was telling you, with your thoughts being pretty much receptors and also um, projectors. Um, Somebody cuts you off in traffic, you immediately get mad and start cussing and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Then you start to slowly and slowly attract more of that to you. And before you know it, now you've had a bad day. Now you've had a bad week. Now you've had a bad month. Now you had a bad year. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying it could get that deep every time. But what I am saying is that if you start to work on your triggers, and it took me a little work, I had to catch myself sometimes. And as long as you catch yourself too, that's just as good as you're not reacting at all. Trust me. I had to catch myself sometimes when I would start to react. Um, like I had to, that was one of the first exercises I had to do when I was so like still in the household and with a certain family member. I knew how this family member was. They were very gaslighty, like you said, and I had to learn how to just shrug it off. And it kind of sucks because it makes you feel like in the moment that they kind of won. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to like kind of take the high road. But at the end of the day, it's all about putting yourself on the most optimal timeline and making yourself the happiest. And, because those interactions, that unneeded emotional investment that you put into it, and that emotional investment, not being good and those emotions not feeling good is not going to help you at all. But if you start to slowly work on these things, you're going to see the transformation in your life and how much happier you start to be. So that's also like a hands-on tool that you can use, is trying to find and work on your triggers slowly but surely, so they no longer trigger you.
I totally I totally agree. When you really start to become aware of those things, and you could start to, and then this is how we're going to go ahead and go into controlling your atmosphere. When you start to really, pinpoint and become aware of how, how you put out your energy into the universe, and how the universe is receiving it, and how it's you giving it back to you. And I like how you use that investment. Your, in my opinion, your feelings and your thoughts and time is currency in the universe. It's a currency, and you're going to receive back what you put out there. If you dedicate 10 to 15 minutes of your to yourself, talking, meditating, whatever you resonate with, the universe keeps track of that. The universe is like, okay, like, I see you doing the work. I see that you want to be better. You know what I mean? And the universe could be whatever you resonate with. Also, the creator, whatever you believe in. Um, so whenever when you invest your time into yourself, then you can start to control, okay, this is a trigger for me, then I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. Obviously it is not good for me and it is not going to help me grow. So then you could start, editing your what things that you allow around you, people that you allow around you. You can start to, even the things that you see, you can start to remove any negativity. You can, you know um, flowers want to bloom and they want to grow, and they can't if there's weeds everywhere, if there's things taking their energy, and little over here and then a little over here, and then it can't grow as big as it should be. A sunflower. Sunflowers don't grow, they grow up like this towards the sun. But if there's tons of weeds around, they're going to grow down. They're going to be facing down. And then they're going to be smaller sunflowers than the big, big ones, that give off sunflower seeds. So that's exactly what is going on around you. There's a child mentality, there's an adult mentality, there is even earth mentality, how we were saying. If you're going to watch the news, what do you think you're going to feel after you watch the news? Anxiety, whatever is going on. Recently there's been COVID. You're going to feel fear of going out and talking to other people, even going to pick up groceries, normal things. But you can control that. You can do your research about it. You can choose to, continue to watch the news. You can even watch the news and not feel any type of way, not affected at all. That's where I am, in my own personal journey. I um i am able to control what I allow around me. There is nothing that I do not have a say so that will affect my mood. So if I want to do something and then I can't do it, I'm like Ricky, I just go about my day. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to, succumb to a negative low vibration to where I'm going to feel some type of way, because, that's not self empowering and that's not self discipline for me to be doing. Um, Another thing that I wanted about controlling your atmosphere. I know a big thing on my Discord server. I have a lot of adolescent kids, teenagers who still live at home. I live at home, and a lot of things that I know you can't get up and move out because you're too young. I know you can't just leave because you're too, a lot of different situations. But one thing that you can do is make sure, one thing that I have practiced myself, since I still do live at home. I try to keep my atmosphere in my room clean, comfortable for me to be in. If I need to vent, I have a little mirror set up, where I can, look at myself and vent, just to really help those who can't really like make drastic decisions, like, moving out if home is an issue, or if you can't get a car, that too, manifesting. If you want to go ahead and get yourself out of those types of situations, manifest it. Be positive. Have that self-respect and that self-empowerment that you can do it. Nothing is impossible. But I'm gonna go ahead and let Ricky talk.
That's so true. And that's something I wanted to, hopefully one person will hear that and not only hear that, but apply it,
Mm-hmm.
because that's something that I had to do in my household. Um, One thing that, okay, so for you people who are in the situation that Jazz just talked about, like maybe you're younger, you know what I'm saying, you're still in the home and you're dealing with certain situations. One thing that's pretty much helped me in an exercise that I was going to mention later, but I mention now, is pretty much scripting or journaling, whatever you want to call it. One thing I try to do every day is pretty much write down what I'm grateful for and the things that I want to manifest. show you this, then to show you that this works is, I'm sure you guys know, yeah,
Manifest.
I'm sure you guys know what the Xbox Series X is and the PlayStation 5 is. Now, you know it's very hard to get these, and you know they're pretty much sold out in stores all over the USA as we speak. This may sound very corny, and frankly, I don't give a fuck. But like, okay, so basically what I did was I wrote it down, because I'll just be manifesting stuff a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I said, why not? And I wrote it down in this in my journal that I was thankful for having them, as if I already had them already. And in that moment of writing that, I felt the gratefulness for having them. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh wow, I like that.
I'm sure y'all know what this is about. I got
Oh,
both of them, and these shits
okay.
are sold out everywhere. Okay, so this stuff actually does work, but you have to put your belief into it. You have to put um your work into it. Not saying that things are gonna, like, you can't. I'm not saying, and I'm not saying you can't, but I'm also not saying you can, like, say you want to bike the night before and it manifests the morning after.
Right.
Um, I don't know, maybe. I'm not putting that limitation out there, but what I'm saying is, through doing this, through making this a part of your journey, through and one other thing is the feeling of gratitude. There's something about the feeling of gratitude. Like I said, with your energy receptors and projectors, you projecting that gratitude for that. So what you're doing is, that feeling is being coming one with that thought that you're having, or whatever that you're seeing, or whatever you're experiencing. So when that feeling attaches itself to what you think, see, experience, or have, then essentially what you're doing is sending signal out to the universe, is that you want to experience more of that. And this is why people say the rich get richer and the poor get poor, because of course people who want to be rich want to, of course they enjoy that, so they attract more of that to them and they keep getting richer. And most of the time the poor, they're stuck there, and this becomes their mentality, and they uh are met with more experiences and situations that have them experience that type of life, experiencing that type of lifestyle, so this actually does work. It's a very, very powerful, one of the most powerful tools. If you just start to write every day everything you're grateful for, if you start to write everything that you want to manifest as if it's already happened, as if you're already grateful for it, and be grateful for it in that moment. It's really unhealthy to live too far in the past or too far in the future. This is why you want to write it in the present, as if you're already grateful for it. um but yeah, I would say, if there's anything, probably use that hands-on tool. If you're going to use any of them, please use that one, because it does work wonders. And it it has no limitation. If you're having problems with your thoughts and the way that you're thinking, this is something I do in my journaling as well. I write down that I'm thankful that all my thoughts are positive and positive or necessary, um, subconsciously and consciously, and that's pretty much what I experience for the most part. But yeah.
I totally agree. As I showed a little, preview of my. I know a lot of people are pretty personal about their thing. I don't care. So this is what my journal looks like. I put intent up here. A vision board. Ricky was awesome in showing me about that. That too can help with your visual. Create a vision board. Ricky has an amazing one, and it really, drove me to want to start my own. Um, in little ways, I changed my wallpaper on my iPad and my phone to, well, my phone has a sunflower, just to remind me of, being positive and appreciative of my channel, my Discord server, even my Instagram, people talking to me. I am so grateful for absolutely everything, and I resonate with that so well with what you said about tying that feeling to the thought, and then sending it up there, because you have to be, I would use the word confidence. you know I am grateful I'm a multimillionaire, because I am very confident that I already know that I am a multimillionaire, in the aspect of because what I, like how we said earlier, the intention that I have behind the things. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the Tesla Model X that I shall soon be having. That is slick and white. But those things are, and it's such a warm feeling when you actually are, aware of the things that you are grateful for, even the little things. That when you start with the little things, or actually no, when you start with the big things, then your gratitude will start to lower down to the little things, and then you're going to start being grateful without even writing it down. I know that's how I am. I ate a salad today. I just said, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm so glad that I get to eat this out. I'm so appreciative. Little things like that, and it just pops up. It's just how I'm feeling. um so I really do like that you brought that up as a tool. Even in, this is my little journal. I write my dreams down. I write down how my days are going. I write down even little information. I write down, I am loved, I am powerful. My affirmations. I write down all types of things, even reminders on me. Be kinder to yourself. For me, I need to be kinder to myself, more positive. Really, and then that helps with the triggers as well. If you start to keep writing down these things, then it'll start to be like in your head, and then you wouldn't need to write it down for much longer. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll start, talking to yourself. Then you'll start just thinking in your head. Then you'll just start being in that type of blissful state all the time. And that's what I want to help people get to, because it is amazing. The grass is so green over here. The grass is green, purple, blue, whatever you want it to be over here. It is amazing. And it's all because of these little things that I invested in myself. I invested trillions and trillions of seconds, minutes into myself. So now I'm reaping the benefits, and now the physical benefits are going to start to, you know, um, come into play, just like how you got both. You got PS5 and Xbox. Now you gotta, but you have to do the work. Like, we can't stress this enough. I know other YouTubers, I know other people shed light on doing work and stuff like that. I've watched tons of videos myself, and even me too. I'm not perfect. I didn't take all that information when they were gems. I didn't take all that information. I didn't practice it when I should have. But when I started to really, push myself to start doing them, I really did start seeing results very quickly. Very, very quickly. Just like if you're gonna, the bike isn't gonna show up the next day. It's gonna show up when you least expect it. The point in manifesting, in a sense, or how what Ricky was explaining, even when you write it down, um you write it down, you think about it, you're grateful for it, and then like throw it away, like let it go. Don't dwell on it, don't think about it. Trust. There's where the confidence comes in. Trust that the universe heard you, took up your intention, took up your feelings, and took up your thoughts, and you'll get what you get. And and it'll come to you when it's supposed to. Everything happens to you for a reason. There's no such thing as coincidences. There's no such thing as a coincidence in this aspect of you listening this far along in the podcast, and you heard everything that you heard up until this point. and now you'll be able to start, helping yourself in that aspect. Read great books like how I'm really motivated to read that book that, the Napoleon Hill one. I really want to read that book. It's a lot, but it's not a lot. Like it's hard at first only because of, what you see out in the world, but once it starts becoming a habit, it is so easy. Like it really does become very easy.
Yeah, and there's no limitations to it. In under this video, I'm going to link a video where this girl literally, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but I'm trying to show you there are no limitations to this. Um, or at least I don't put any limitations on it. But this girl, I believe, is like well into her 20s, like early 30s, or something like that. And a manifestation she wanted is to uh, grow her bra size by a cup. And she actually did this through things like scripting and different exercises with manifestation. And this is way past when they're supposed to be done growing by now. And she grew her breast by a whole cup size, and manifested. And I'll link that below so you can see that video, because there are also some other good things in that video, where that's just to show you that as long as the belief is there and the feeling is genuine, and you genuinely want that and you believe it to be so. And another important part is faith, like Jasmine said. Just set it and forget it, and have faith that it will happen. Like a lot of my friends and family, like they see me like buy certain things, um and things like that, and they really don't resonate with the way I treat money. It's because I have faith, that I will, I already act as if I live the extravagant lifestyle that I wish to manifest. I'm already acting as because I don't have any doubt in my mind that that will soon come to fruition. Like it's no doubt in my mind. And so I carry myself this way, and that's also important too, is to carry yourself in whatever walk of life that you carry yourself like you already are that. You have to become that, in the moment. Um, but yeah,
I totally agree. You know, I spend money like I got trillions. Let me tell you, I I have no job right now. And on my channel, you already know I'm very honest. So, I but I am so happy. Like because I have no doubt. I have no doubts. None. I threw all of that away because I know within, and that's where that whole confidence comes in. You create this life, you create your own mentality, you create it. It is you, your thoughts, and your feelings. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care. It's the aspect of, because it is proven. Like it is proven all the time, even with negativity. If you're negative, you're going to reap negativity. If you're positive, you're going to reap positivity. These things that, and I hope, even if it was just one person that, listened and took some of the tools and self-help things that we've practiced, even if we did our thing, because that's what I manifested, a channel of genuity and passion. And I can already see, I have a great friend, as with Ricky, and he came to me with the whole podcast thing, and you know, and that to me is very genuine, and to me that I feel his passion when he speaks. I enjoy, all types of ideas and things like how you brought up, earlier, you like to have, different uh ways of seeing a situation, different mindsets, and just grateful, gratitude. If anything, 1111. It's 1111 here. But one thing that I do want to stick out is gratitude. You know, gratitude would bring you a long way. A lot of people like to be around people who are aware and who are gracious in that aspect. Humble. That's a big one too, but humility and gratitude in my sense go hand in hand. But that will help with all these things. The law of attraction. You're gonna attract, positive. You're going to victim mentality will be no more, no excuses attitude. That will be instilled in your brain. It will be burned in your brain. No excuses, because the only one creating these excuses, which I label excuses as walls. So the only one creating these walls are you. The only one who is not able to go through an entire situation, or you're not happy, or you're not content, is because of you, and you're the only one that could change it. A lot of people don't realize their own self power, and that's one thing that I did like how you said, you know don't invest into other people when those other people are clearly not investing in you, and that is going to just shy you away, and it's going to just you took those good little baby steps. You know how quick it is to take two steps back? That's why people say you take one step forward and then you take two steps back. It is so quick to succumb back to that, gaslighting, the victim mentality. It will be hard, but it is so worth it. At the beginning, it will be hard, but you are not alone. I've gone through it. Ricky's gone through it. We're still going through it. One thing that I do want to, I do have a Discord server. I do have an Instagram, but I am more active on the Discord server. If you need anyone to talk to, if you need any more, tools, and any more, control your atmosphere all the time. We also are in the process of talking about money, you know, all of that stuff, all of it. I'll drop the link down there. Feel free, even in the comments, if you have any questions or concerns, or if you want to know more, go ahead and drop that in there as well. Um, yeah, I just wanted to say that, Ricky. I don't know if you have if you want to continue talking about controlling your atmosphere, or I was just going off the dome like you were.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying, but especially the gratitude. Um, like I remember, like not too long ago, I found 2 quarters that was just right outside my car, and I was just very grateful for that. It's like just the small things, and the small things eventually graduate into bigger things. It's really the small things that make the bigger things. If you're with somebody that you've been with for a while, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like it's the small things they do,
Yeah.
not so much but um yeah, so what's the next topic?
I have the controlling in which mentality, no excuses attitude, law of attraction, hands-on, and mental tools and self-help on my end.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much think we covered it pretty well.
Um, you know, I really am grateful for everyone who watches the podcast. I'm grateful for all of the love that it gets. I'm grateful for each and every subscriber. I'm grateful for being able to be in this type of position to be able to give this information in order to help people. I am even grateful for me wanting to help people. Like, there are so many people that sit on gems and mountains of gems that help people, and they just be sitting on it. And I did it, so you can go and you could figure it out. I've actually recently met quite a few people who are like that, who are very well. I did the work, so and I sat there and I went out of my way, very ominous about helping. And I'm grateful that I am the way that I am, especially going about life the way that I have gone about life. There have been so many instances where I should have been 180 that way, three, negative, all of that. But I'm grateful, to have pushed through, to have met people like you, Ricky, that shares the same mindset, and wanting to, and what is it? That shares that same humanitarian mindset of wanting to help. And you know what I mean? I'm just grateful. I hope y'all could feel how grateful we both are in the aspect of being able to do this, and for you guys listening, watching, feel free to um, like, subscribe if you'd like. Um, but yeah, check out that video. Ricky is going to post. I'm actually going to check it out as well. I'm very interested to see. Um, I'm gonna drop the Discord link. What else am I forgetting? Videos on the channel will be more regular. Coming up now, I am getting out of the aspect of my, the I guess the neck of the woods of my journey right now. Um, so I'm gonna start, being more regular when it comes to videos. Um, but yeah, Ricky, if you want to say anything, or
Yeah, I just want to say a summary quick. So a summary, real quick. So pretty much a summary um is just basically your thoughts, your vibrations, your feelings. Be very cognizant of them and pretty much just try to watch over them as much as you can, and remember all the hands-on tools we gave you. Like I think one that I didn't mention was, and this one is very important, is watching over your thoughts. Now, if you believe that you really want to change over your thoughts to be a more positive, just watch over them. That in itself is going to help you pretty much, because what you're doing essentially is like, so something I do, right? If I catch myself having a thought, like let's say there's something that I want to buy that maybe my bank account may reflect that I not be able to afford that, and I start to think that, I immediately think the opposite of it. You know what I'm saying? And say that I'm abundant and I can afford anything. It's just little things like that. You know what I'm saying? So you can immediately think the other thought. You could stop that thought in its tracks, and then think the polar thought to it that you would rather want, or rather want to manifest. um the writing, like we said, the journaling, the being grateful, work at being more grateful, work at having a more optimistic look on things in your life, work at not having a victim mentality. Really study these things. A good thing that can help you is really flooding your brain with this type of information, just like you do social media and the news and those TV shows you watch. All those affect how you feel, how you think. When you start to flood your brain with information like this, it affects the way you feel and you think as well. And it starts just to become you. um, like I said, it can't happen overnight. And a good example I have is cancer. For somebody to contract cancer, 12 to 14 genes have to be completely modified in that person for them to now be diagnosed with cancer. And it's you can couple that with this way of thinking now. Like certain things, your paradigm, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, your vibration has to be changed for you to be on the most optimal timeline. So it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens slowly but surely. And the benefits of it, are amazing. Even though I don't have everything that I would wish to have at this moment, I'm still very grateful in this moment. I still would be very grateful if the confirmation came today from the universal creator himself that I would never obtain those things. I would still be grateful grateful in the moment, and that's another one, gratitude as well. Um, and your paradigm as well, remember, that's an important one because without that, it's going to be very hard for you to manifest. If you still carry these beliefs of you think money is scarce and things like that, you think you can't attract someone who maybe you like been with partners who have cheated on you, you don't think you can attract someone who can be faithful to you and be everything that you ever dreamed of. Like, you have to work at first changing those. You That's really important. Work on changing those paradigms and conditioning first. That's very important. But yeah, I don't want to ramble on too long. But like Jasmine said, we're very thankful for everybody who's turned in. We're very thankful for the turnout in the first one. Hopefully that could be is hopefully that continues. And I look forward to continue posting with Jasmine. I very much enjoy um, podcasts that we do together and just our banter back and forth. And yeah,
I yeah, I'm grateful. And I'm gonna be grateful for y'all watching. I'm gonna be grateful for you first, for you taking the you time, taking the time for yourself out of your day to watch a video for do it yourself, to watch a video for you to be more aware of things that you can do that can self help you in your everyday life. Even these things you can do, uh, 10 seconds, if that's all you have, you could do these things in 10 seconds. You can do these things if your only free time and out of your 24-hour day is 30 minutes. Go ahead. All of these things are very flexible. They're very, doable. You don't have to go buy anything. You don't have to go, if even if you don't have a journal, you have a phone. You have a phone with notes. There's no excuse mentality. You gotta have a no excuse attitude. There's always room for improvement in everything, even if you come to the conclusion and you're very confident in the conclusion that you have no more work to do. Um, we all have work to do. So I just wanted to say I'm grateful and I'm thankful for you. Even if you aren't right now in this point in time where you're hearing my voice, I am. And the universe registers that. But yeah, I'm actually excited for this next podcast idea that I have. And that is going to be a surprise as usual. But yeah, I don't if you have anything else to say, ready to.
no, I think you pretty much nailed it.
All right, cool. Well, thank you again, guys. I'm so appreciative and I'm so thankful for the time that you took out of your precious day to come and chill with us, to listen to our thoughts and opinions and our, information. Like I said earlier, there's going to be links in the description if you'd like. Leave a comment if you have any questions. We're gonna soon, or yeah, we're gonna soon have a podcast where drop some questions that you would like answered. Be a little more, verbal if you'd like, if you feel comfortable. Like and subscribe, share if you think this can help anyone. But yeah, just thank you for tuning in.
Appreciations.